Hi. Last time I spoke about word intonation, and now I want to talk about sentence intonation. Sentence intonation, what's that? Well, it's the same as rhythm. We all know that music, there's rhythm in music. There's a different beat according to the type of music. We know in poetry there's rhythm, but also in spoken English there should be rhythm. Otherwise we speak like a robot. Do you know what I mean? It's very difficult to listen to someone who speaks like a robot. So in English, rhythm is very important to make your English sound natural. Alright? You won't study this in a book. You won't study this by studying grammar. You get to improve this part of your English by listening a lot and hearing how native speakers, what intonation, what rhythm they use. Just to give you one example about rhythm in poetry, this is a poem by Shakespeare, sonnet number 57. Excuse me. I think I need water. Yeah, I need water. Just a second. Okay. Remember I said, whether it's water or water, it's equally good. But you need to stress the first syllable. So in sentences you have more flexibility, but let me do the poem first, okay? Now watch my movements, okay? Being your slave, what should I do but tend upon the hours and times of your desire? I have no precious time at all to spend, nor services to do till you require. Nor dare I chide the world without end hour, whilst I, my sovereign, watch the clock for you. Nor think the bitterness of absence sour, when you have bid your servant once adieu. Nor dare I question with my jealous thought, where you may be, or your affairs suppose. But like a sad slave, stay and think of naught, save where you are, how happy you make those. So true a fool is love, that in your will, though you do anything, he thinks no ill. The last two lines have a different rhythm. But you get the idea. There's a regular rhythm, a regular beat, a regular... Okay? So, that's poetry. But in English, spoken English, we have the same idea. Now there's just one point I need to mention. It's not based on the number of syllables in a sentence. It's not based on the number of syllables in a sentence. For example, here we have Brazil. Brazil is big. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 syllables, right? Next sentence. Brazil is bigger than Japan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 syllables. And this sentence here, Brazil is one of the biggest countries in the world. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 syllables. Right. Now, if we were to stress each syllable equally, like in Japanese, arigato, this sentence would be much longer than this one, right? But actually, in spoken English, what we do is we don't have many stress points, what we call stress points. For example, listen to this. Brazil is big. Brazil is big. Okay, we got 2 stress points. Brazil, I'll do it this way. No. Brazil is big, right? We don't say Brazil is big. We don't stress each syllable equally. Brazil is big. Okay? Next sentence. Brazil is bigger than Japan. Brazil is bigger than Japan. So even though we have 8 syllables here, twice the number of syllables, the stress points are 3. That's the most natural, right? Brazil is bigger than Japan. Brazil is bigger than Japan. Brazil is bigger than Japan. Oh, sorry, it's not Japan, okay, it's Japan. Take care of that. Brazil is bigger than Japan. 3 stress points, okay? 3. Now here we've got 13 syllables. How would you say this? Well, let's see, let's try. Brazil is one of the biggest countries in the world. Brazil is one of the biggest countries in the world. Brazil is one of the biggest countries in the world. How many is that? Brazil is one of the biggest countries in the world. 5 stress points. Okay. Or there's another option. Brazil is one of the biggest countries in the world. Brazil is one of the biggest countries in the world. Brazil is one of the biggest countries in the world. You could also give it 4 stress points. It's flexible, it's up to you, but you gotta have that kind of rhythm. Brazil is one of the biggest countries in the world. If you put more emphasis on countries, then, and you leave out this part here, you stress the countries rather than biggest, then you would have 4 stress points in the sentence. Okay, so what happens to the other ones between the stress points? This is the first stress point. Brazil is one of them. Okay, one of them. One of them becomes like one word, yeah? It runs together. Because if you stress one, then the other ones get compacted, if you like. It's called lesion, the technical term. But this is common. And it's not something to be worried about, but it's something to be aware of. Because if you're trying to listen and you're trying to visualize the words one by one, you'll miss it. Because what is one of the? It's one of the. There's a game that you can play. I used to play with my kids when they were younger, and it goes like this. This is the game, right? Just to show you how words get pushed together. Knock, knock. Who's there? Joanna. Joanna who? Joanna, open the door. It's raining out here. Okay, maybe you didn't get the joke. But the guy outside is saying Joanna, which sounds like a girl's name, yeah? Joanna. And the guy inside is responding, Joanna who? And then he says, do you want to open the door? Do you want to open the door? It's raining out here. Do you want to? Do you want to? Joanna. Joanna. Do you want to becomes Joanna. Okay, you get the idea, Joanna? Okay, this is it's not slang, but it's a lesion. It's a contraction which naturally happens because the main stress point is the important one, so the other words, they run together. This is something you won't get from studying textbooks, but it's something you will naturally get if you watch a lot of movies, or watch a TV series, if you listen to a lot of native speakers just speaking normally. And this is the only way you'll improve your spoken English. You won't improve your spoken English by studying grammar or by doing your exercises in the book. So just bear this in mind, okay? So, in conclusion, this is not something to get worried about, but it's something you will naturally pick up the more you listen. Okay? So, I'll leave it there for today, and I'll be back with another tip to improve your English soon. Okay? Thanks for listening.